everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. How are we? I hope you're okay. I'm a little bit skew with again today, aren't I? And I've got you leaning up against a wine bottle with a kitchen towel on top to try and keep you as straight as possible. Anyway, how are you? I hope you're all okay. Hope you're having a lovely weekend so far. What's the weather like where you are? Well, today we've had a bit of rain. We've had howling winds. We've had sun, and now we've got clouds. I'm not really sure what's going on. So just a typical British summer day, really. We did think about going to a carnival that's in the next sort of town along called Sutton-on-Sea, but the weather's not great. But anyway, Alan's been busy. He's out at the moment. He's very concerned about this video, but he's got nothing to be concerned about. He's had a busy day, actually. Hello there. Don't forget to say hi when you jump on so I can say hello back. And then of course I know if the comments are working, because I've had right problems with comments recently on here. They haven't been showing up very well. So yeah, Alan's had a very busy day. He got up about 8 o'clock. It was his day before, silly moo. It was his day off. No, he got up before 8. That's what I was trying to say. I got the word in the wrong place. He got up before 8 and off to the laundrette, bless his cotton socks, because we don't have a washing machine here. Then he came back. He went to one of the farm shops, got some eggs, popped to work to see his manager, who's been off for a week, to catch him up with everything. Why he has to do that, I don't know. I think he just likes going into work sometimes. And then he came home and now he's gone to the gym and to do some shopping, because we all know that Alan loves a supermarket. He particularly loves Tesco's at Cleethorpes. That's where he is at the moment, either at the gym or Tesco's at Cleethorpes. So he's having a good day. He's having his supermarket moment. So I wasn't going to put some makeup on, but I am, because I think this is going to be a little bit awkward, maybe a little bit embarrassing, and so I thought, okay, let's put some makeup on whilst I do this. So I have been asking in my lives if anybody has got any subjects that they wanted me to talk about, because I'm doing a run of 90-day lives and I don't want them all to be me putting on makeup. I want them to be about different things, you know. So one lovely friend of mine, Pat, she's made a suggestion of a few, of which I must write down because now I can't really remember them. But I did remember she just sort of suggested I spoke about how we met. So I thought, well, maybe as it's a Sunday, we could do something a little bit different. And talk about that, basically talk about the Alan and I story. I want to do a craft one this week. I didn't do one last week. Why didn't I do it? It was something to do with the Friday. I was going somewhere on the Friday. Oh, that's right. I was meeting a friend for coffee. Hi, Julie. I was meeting a friend for coffee, and then I had my my unique try-on little party in the evening, so which went lovely. Whoops a daisy. Oh, what have I done with that now? I've got one of those carpets that our mums liked, do you know what I mean, with the autumn colours, and if you drop something on it you can't see anything. It doesn't help that this tube is black anyway, and it was underneath my chair, but anyway, I've got it now. So I'm going to put on, you all know that I'm absolutely loving my new BB cream at the moment, but they are so out of stock. I'm going to use this because I can still get some special offers at the moment, just until the end of the month. I nearly said the week. The end of the month, which I believe is Monday. And so just in case anybody wants any last minute special offers, let me know. Only there's quite a few of these shades still in stock. And I do love it. It has got skincare properties in it as well. So anyway, I'll try not to talk too much about makeup. If you see me diving down, it's because most of it It's still in the bag I took to the party, and I'm going to be putting it away after I've done this live. Okay, so I'm going to put some concealer on today because I tend to forget that. So, okay then, right, Alan and I met, it was 20 years ago, in April just gone. We met online. It wasn't a dating app or anything like that. We met sort of before dating apps before they were invented, or whatever you call it. And we used to chat in, well, what we used to call a chat group. There were just sort of chat groups about, and a friend of mine, because I was single and I had been single for about 14 years or whatever. Hi, Sue. Oh, no, I can't see, and you're not Sue. I do apologise. Oh, no, it says stars enabled. Wasn't even somebody else watching. I do apologise. My eyes are terrible, I tell you. So, yes, where was I? God, I'm so easily distracted. It's ridiculous. Yes, so we were chatting in this chat group that I'd been... A couple of friends of mine said, oh, you know, you get in the chat group and just get sort of like talking to people. As I said, I'd been single for about 14 years. My life was my kids and my dance school. Not always correctly in that order, unfortunately, but that's part of the guilt, you know, as a working mum. And especially now as I'm older and I see that people can work from home so easily, I just think, oh my word, you know, and I feel terrible guilt for all that time I was working. But hey, that's another story. So yeah, a couple of my friends had said to me to get in this chat room, and Alan and I finished up. We would chat sort of like most days, most evenings, mainly because he lived in Eastbourne and I lived in just outside of Brighton, a little place called Peacehaven, which was probably only about a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes away. Now, we were never going to meet because there's a very big age difference, okay? Let's spell it out. There's 20 years age difference between us. So we were never going to meet. We were only ever going to sort of be friends and chat online. And that was sort of the way it was going, which was absolutely fine. And my life, of course, in the dance school revolved around gay men, which were great friends, and fathers of children that I taught to dance, which was obviously no-no. And so Alan and I chatted probably for about 6 months. And there was never, you know, you hear people say, you know, oh, they could tell you anything. You know what I mean? If you meet somebody online. And that is so true. But also, because you are only online and you don't think you will ever probably meet, you can also be very honest about your situation. Because you're never going to meet them. Or, you know, sort of like for a lot of people. Unless, of course, you are in that situation desperately trying to meet somebody. For me, it was just a bit of sort of male company. And I'd been sort of like encouraging Alan to ask out this lady who lived near him that he didn't know whether or not he wanted to ask her out or not. And I was like the encouraging one. Yeah, go on, you know, she lives close to you, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they went out and it didn't really work. And I think I was the pushy one that then said, you know, well, maybe we should just meet up for a drink. You know, again, nothing was going to happen. There was a big age difference. It was just purely, we just seemed to get on so well. We chatted a lot. We chatted very easily online, and that was it. We thought we were going to be great friends. So we met at a lovely pub that was about halfway between the two of us. As I said, there was only about 20 minutes sort of like from where we both lived. Met at this lovely pub, and the first time we met, it was just so so easy and fun and what have you, and we just decided that the following week we would meet up again, same place, sort of same situation, and we just talked and talked and talked for absolutely hours. I mean, I don't know what time we met. Well, as I said, I'm talking 20 years ago now. I don't know what time, you know, sort of like what time we got together there, but we didn't leave until it was sort of like last orders. Alan doesn't drink at all, so that was like never a situation. And I rarely drink. I'm a total lightweight. As some of you may have seen, I actually had my very first cocktail about 2 weeks ago, which was very exciting, and nobody can quite believe it was my first ever cocktail, but it really was, and I very much enjoyed it, and I know which one I'm going to have next time we have a coffee club ladies lunch. So that's all good. Yeah, so that sort of situation just went on sort of for weeks, really, that we would just meet up sort of like once a week, and we just, oh, I've got a hair somewhere. Oh, I can still see it. Oh, that's so annoying, isn't it? I can see it out of the corner of my eye. I don't know where it's gone. So anyway, that was that. And then I guess as time went by, it just got a little bit physical. And let's get physical, and grew into being sort of like a proper sort of like relationship. It was very strange because my kids, well, my son is 5 years young, 5 years younger than Alan, and my daughter would then be 10 years younger than Alan. Yes, that's right. And so, of course, it was quite strange, but having said that, it was never not that anybody was ever going to take over the place of their dad, of course, but he was more like a big brother, like coming into their life, and it was really embarrassing because you know what it's like. You sit down and you make up all these ridiculous excuses, like I sort of said to the kids at one point, now look, you know, it's a long way for Alan to drive home, you know, in the evening. How would you feel if he stayed over? And, you know, and then I had to have the, what do you call it? The third degree with my kids about if I wanted, you know, that I had to be careful, be safe, if I needed any condoms, they didn't want to hear any noise. And oh my goodness, it was just so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, but it was hilarious at the same time. It really was. And again, that's the situation, I guess, when you're with somebody that's like old enough to be or young enough to be your kid's big brother. So that was like really funny. So the relationship just sort of like carried on, and then it was about a year later when Alan sort of like moved in, at least a year later. Alan had got his own flat in Eastbourne. He'd saved and had got a flat from a very young age. I was lucky enough to have a house because I'd lost both of my parents, and which isn't the lucky part, but I was very lucky in the fact that they had a house and a house was left to me, although I didn't still live there, because we made the decision, myself and the kids, how long would it have been? About 3 months, 3 hours. My brain, honestly, ladies, it's terrible, isn't it? About 3 months after I lost my mum, I had to make a big decision because we lived in a sort of a 3-storey townhouse. And I said to the kids, right, now we've got options here. Either we can stay here in what was your nan's house, but we will have to have a lodger in like the bottom part, in like the basement where she used to be able to like afford to do things to the house and pay the bills and what have you. I said, or we move and we make a totally different start. And it's a very strange thing because I'd always thought I would live my life out there. I really did. I loved that house. That house I was born, not born in the house, but I was brought back to that house when I was born. Before I had Mark, my ex-husband Gary and I, we moved into that house because my mum said, look, you know, this house is going to be yours one day. You're expecting, why don't you move back now? And so we sort of had a separate part, which worked great. It doesn't always work great, sadly, if a relationship breaks up, because then I felt very guilty, of course, that I had a house and there was nothing that he could have. Do you know what I mean? But that's a completely different story. But I just want to say that, you know, that I did feel very guilty about that. Where were we? Yes, so Alan had sold his flat and I had my house, so we decided to move in together. And sadly, it wasn't long after that I started being ill. And when I first met Alan, I always felt that he was very young but acted extremely sensibly, and I was, you know, sort of like the mature middle-aged woman, but I acted quite young because, of course, I was always like dancing with the kids. I had a, you know, a very good sort of like social life with the dance school and what have you. And so we actually sort of like blended together, I thought, very well because of that. As I say, yeah, he always said that he was sort of like born like a 40-year-old, you know, because he was like always so sensible and that sort of thing. So yeah, so we had like a great couple of years together. We used to get away with little what do you call it, like little city breaks, that sort of thing, which is really, really wonderful. For the first time, like ever since I'd had the kids, yeah, we had 2 wages coming in. I'd never had 2 wages coming in, which was like awesome. And then unfortunately I became ill, and things sort of changed quite a lot. Alan then was very aware that I was struggling doing things. Alan decided to buy a property, and him and my son Mark did it up together, and sold that, which they did very well, and they enjoyed doing that, which was good. That was in Eastbourne. And then Alan just sort of like took the time, really sort of like not looking after me, because I was of course working still, but he sort of like, he was like the house husband. Yeah, he sort of like, well, I think he cooked food and did washing and what have you. I don't know. When I was very ill over that first 18 months or so, I don't know what went on. I know I used to go to dance classes. I know I used to judge the occasional dance competition, but not very much because I hadn't sort of got the energy to do it. I remember going to and from the dance school very vaguely, but I just used to know that I just used to sleep a lot. So whereas I was the sort of young, fit, fun dance teacher girlfriend, that sort of like, that all changed. And he wasn't a carer or anything like that for me, but the roles certainly changed quite a lot, and he would do like the housework and this sort of thing. And sadly, this has sort of had to progress quite a lot over the years. When we were in Spain, it was the situation that the longer we were there, the more Alan had to do, unfortunately, because again, I just didn't have the energy to do it. And whereas I would do a lot of the cleaning, so the majority of the indoor cleaning, and he would deal with like the outside and what have you, that sort of turned about. In the end, he would have to help me make the beds. He would do like all the sweeping and mopping, because I was just unable to do it. And now now we've come back here, it's still the same. He does the hoovering, bless his heart. He did it today for me. He also knows that the hoovering, sort of like, you know, the dust with the hair from the dogs and what have you, isn't good for my chest. But I am so happy to see that he is absolutely thriving here. He really is. I mean, we had a great time in Spain. We really did. And I don't regret, you know, a second of it. I really don't. What didn't go perfectly well was a learning experience. And what did, we just, you know, just keep close to us and our wonderful memories. Yeah, so now we're back here. He's got a job that he absolutely loves. He's now an assistant manager for one of the well-known garden centres in the area. It's given him a real buzz in life because he likes a little bit of pressure. He doesn't like too much, but he likes a little bit of pressure, which is working out brilliant there. They're already getting ready for Christmas, would you believe? Because they are, this particular garden centre is like the one to beat, sort of like in the area, which is awesome. Did I put any blusher on? No, I don't think I did I? Never mind, I'm going to do my brows now. And he started playing football. Well, he's been organising little football matches for, not football matches, but like kickabouts for people in the area. He does a 1 hour one in just really, really close to our town in Mablethorpe, and he does another one in a bigger town. Actually, he does 2 hours there in a bigger town, and he's loving that. As most of you have seen, he's lost so much weight. Oh my word, it's like looking at a different man. Cuddling makes no difference. I don't care when I cuddle him if he's like 3 times the size he is now, or one size. Do you know what I mean? He's always been always gives great big cuddles, which is just wonderful. We all need a big cuddle, don't we, ladies? Yeah, so I'm loving seeing him thriving, doing all this sort of like new stuff that's given him such a buzz. He's joined the gym, which is awesome. And now I'm feeling so better as well, which makes me do better at my unique. It makes me go out more sociable, a nicer person. I mean, goodness me, when I've had my bad times, there's been weeks that I've probably said, count on 2 hands, maybe a conversation, you know, how many words we'll have had that evening, or how many times I'll have spoken to him. Because when you're feeling that low in yourself, and that must have been so hard, and now I'm just feeling so grateful to be fair. I'm going to use the word so again loads of times. so grateful to be feeling so better. And sometimes it's not until you feel better, is it, that you realise how poorly you really were before. And yes, I am on antidepressants, and they have been raised. I was on, what was I on? 10 milligram? I don't know, but I'm on 20 milligram now, and it took about 6 weeks to kick in. Oh, he's messaging now. Oh, got rid of the fridge stuff. Oh no, I don't know what that is. It was going to the tip as well. I forgot about that. So I don't know, I didn't have my glasses on. It's gone now. And it just feels so good to, like, when I go, well, he only has like 2 days off. He's off like on a Sunday, and he's off during the week, and he likes to go to the gym then, but he also goes to the laundrette, and he does this, that and the other. And it feels so lovely to be in the car with him and just feeling so good. You know, it's just I don't want to go into it too deeply, but when I was depressed, I was really in a bad way. And please, ladies, if ever you feel like that, go to your doctor. Please go to your doctor. I never wanted to go on antidepressants. They have that stigma, don't they, still? But I'm a different person. I'm a different person now to I was 3 or 4 months ago, and some of you will be aware of that. And I realise now why I've been so tired this past week, because they increased my steroids from 6 mg to 10 mg for 2 months, and now gradually I have to drop down again 1 mg every month until I'm back down to 6. And I've just dropped from 10 to 9, and that's why I just realised last night why I slept practically all day yesterday, dropping that 1 mg, but I feel so much better today, so I've just got to accept that. Hopefully I'm not in a complete coma by the time I get back down to 6 mg, so that might be a little bit of a tough time. But so what I just want to say with all that is that I'm just so lucky. Alan has been an absolute godsend. If you're on your own, ladies, if you're on your own, you know, don't, what's the word? Don't just accept. I mean, I didn't know, obviously, when I got together with Alan, how it was going to be or whatever. We were only ever going to be friends. But I just feel so lucky in life and, you know, and in love. And he was worth waiting 14 years for on my own. So, like, if you're young and you're watching this and maybe you're on your own, don't just accept. Just wait. Don't rush. And so many young people these days, well, not even young people, so many people can't be on their own. You know, if you're on your own, you can watch what you like on the telly. You don't always have to have the football on, do you? If you're on your own, you can starfish in the bed. You don't have to worry about cooking for anybody. I don't cook for Alan. We've never cooked for each other. I think basically because I always worked such odd hours and he was always such a picky eater. I mean, I would come in from work about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I would just sort of like grab probably a snack then. I can't even remember what I did with that was, you know, talking about 17, 18 years ago. No, 15, 16 years ago. So, yeah, so I don't really even remember what I did then. But, yeah, just don't settle. Don't settle. I'm a very lucky lady. Right, okay, where are we? Let's have some 4D on for a change today, shall we? Mascaras are still on special, ladies. Oh, that was a bit intense, wasn't it? Talking about Alan. It's weird, really, isn't it? It's very strange. I mean, I think also when you are on your own, you don't ever think you're going to meet anyone. Hi, Pat. I'm telling the story and you've missed it all. You'll have to grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and watch on the replay, won't you? You will. So, still got mascaras on special. If anybody needs anything, let me know quickly because there's only a couple of days left in the month. And all the special offers will be finishing then. Ooh. I always say that Twisted is my favourite, and it is my favourite, but I love it when I've got this on, I must admit. So there you go, that's sort of the story of Alan and I. Yeah, 20 years. How on earth did that happen? I wish my mum and dad had got to meet him. I really do. I'm sure they would have liked him. Because he's only ever sort of like just been himself. He's never pretended to be anybody he isn't. And that's important, isn't it? I remember when his poor mum found out about me. Oh my word. She must have been beside herself. Because I think he told his brother first, and then I think his brother told his mum that he was seeing a a 40-year-old divorcee. Well, yeah, because I told him I was 40. I wasn't. I was 44. That was another story. He didn't do a runner, but he did drive off for a couple of hours. I think he was more disappointed that I'd lied to him, but I just thought, you know, well, we were never going to meet. That was the thing. It didn't matter. I could have told him I was 30. I could have told him I was 50. We were never going to meet. So it didn't really matter. But, yeah, his poor mum. But his mum's lovely. In fact, when I moved over here, before we moved up to Lincolnshire, I had to do, because it was just after COVID, I had to do some quarantine time. I stayed with his mum for 3 weeks and I had a lovely time. She's coming up to see us in September, which will be very nice. Looking forward to that. She used to come over and see us in Spain as well, a couple of times a year, which was lovely. There you go, got me 4D on today. Right, blusher. I haven't put any blusher on, have I? Let's get some blusher on if I can find it. I don't think there's on any comments working, so if you have any questions, keep them clean, ladies. But if you have any questions, please post them below and I will endeavour to answer them. Oh, itchy nose. Yeah, I don't think the comments are working again. I don't know what's going on with that. There we go. Cleaned all my brushes before my little party thing the other day. So it's lovely to feel they're all clean. Well, and all my products, my little mirrors are all nice and clean now. Right, okay, let's get some lippy on. I've got a right range of colours on here, haven't I could put on. Let's have a think. I know I'm going to use, I always forget what these are called, lip butter. I'm going to use a lip butter. Oh, that one's a bit gummy. I think I put the top on that once without it. Oh, I know what I've got. Yeah, I put the top on it first without making sure it was pressed down. I got some of these little applicators for the little party thing. Let's use that. Oh, these are lovely. Slight mintiness. Feels good. Right, there we go. I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to bother about putting any setting powder on, although obviously I should, but I don't think I'm going to bother because I'm probably only going out in the garden to do a bit more weeding. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate you. Don't forget I'm on YouTube as well now, so you can catch up with all my videos on YouTube. I will pop the link in my Facebook for them. Hi Emily, you've just missed me. You're going to have to go and make yourself a cup of tea or something stronger and watch it from the replay. And yeah, I will catch up with you all tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Sending lots of love. Bye.